India-China relations begin to thaw in 2024 after years of frost. News, Mumbai, India. After years of strained relations, India and China are signaling a thaw in their frosty ties, marking a potential turning point in the geopolitics of Asia. The developments come as both nations, recognizing the need for stability in the region, have initiated a series of high-level engagements to address long-standing disputes and foster cooperation. Recent breakthroughs. The most significant development is the resumption of border talks, which were stalled since the 2020 Galwan Valley clash. Officials from both sides met earlier this month in Beijing, where they agreed to de-escalate tensions along the line of actual control, LAC. A joint statement emphasized the commitment to maintaining peace and tranquility in the border areas. Foreign ministers of India and China also held bilateral talks on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro. Both nations expressed their intent to enhance economic collaboration and resume cultural exchanges, which had been paused since the pandemic and border standoff. Economic revival of ties. Trade between India and China has remained robust despite diplomatic tensions, with bilateral trade exceeding $140 billion in 2023. This year, both governments have signaled their intent to further boost economic ties. A Chinese delegation is expected to visit Mumbai early next year to explore joint ventures in technology, renewable energy, and infrastructure. Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar highlighted the importance of mutual respect in rebuilding relations. India is open to dialogue, but respect for sovereignty and adherence to agreements is paramount, he said during a press briefing. Challenges ahead. While these developments are promising, significant challenges remain. The border issue continues to be a sensitive point, and trust deficits on both sides will take time to bridge. Experts also caution that China's ties with Pakistan and India's growing strategic partnerships with the US and Quad nations could complicate the road to normalization. Regional implications. A thaw in India-China relations could have far-reaching implications for Asia. Analysts suggest that reduced tensions between the two Asian giants could stabilize regional dynamics, bolster trade, and create new opportunities for multilateral cooperation. Public sentiment. Public opinion remains cautious. While businesses welcome the prospect of increased economic collaboration, nationalist sentiments in both countries continue to view each other with suspicion. The road ahead. 2024 marks a potential reset in India-China relations, but the path to reconciliation will require sustained efforts, mutual trust, and a willingness to address core issues. As the world watches closely, the coming months will reveal whether this thaw can lead to a lasting peace or remains a fleeting moment in the complex history of India-China relations. Stay tuned to News for the latest updates on this evolving story.
Foreign Minister told Parliament that ties were set in the direction of some improvement.
We are clear that the maintenance of peace and tranquility in border areas is a prerequisite for the development of our ties.
But the mood on the border, the very thinking operational instructions on the border over 4 years have been one for preparing for war, and therefore turning them back into peacetime deployments is going to be both operational, mental, psychological, and structural activity in that sense, which again is going to take a certain amount of time over a period of time.
High-level diplomatic dialogue has resumed after the first bilateral meeting in 5 years between the Indian and Chinese leaders in October diffused tensions that had escalated following a 2020 border skirmish. China has said it is ready to work with India to, quote, enhance mutual trust. But New Delhi will be cautious, analysts say.
Border and border-related issues is something that India wants to address first, and then expand into overall larger normalization of relationship with China.
Economic cooperation could move faster. China wants to tap into India's growing markets, while New Delhi needs more Chinese imports as it seeks to become a manufacturing hub. The Chinese foreign minister has asked New Delhi to restore direct flights that were suspended during the pandemic and facilitate visas for Chinese nationals. While bilateral trade has flourished, India has put restrictions on Chinese investments and visas.
The economic ties perhaps will continue to evolve much more in a much more accelerated manner, and perhaps India would be much more liberal in sort of opening up its markets or opening up certain sectors.
Pant says the thaw between India and China will not impact New Delhi's ties with Washington, which have grown closer, partly over concerns about Beijing's assertiveness. Besides its Himalayan border, New Delhi is also concerned about China's growing presence in the Indian Ocean.
You also have the sense that both India and the US want a certain kind of an Indo-Pacific, a certain kind of this geography, strategic geography, which is free, balanced, open and fair, which is also inclusive. And I think in some ways, those ideas will continue to propel the relationship.
Despite divergences over India's friendly ties with Russia, analysts say Washington will remain a key partner for New Delhi. The Indian foreign minister recently said ties with the US were large and important.
AM News focuses on delivering international and regional news. It provides timely updates on current issues from around the globe, appealing to a diverse audience. With concise reporting and engaging content, the channel aims to keep viewers informed about significant developments.